We will call it now. I'm freaking out.
Jack,
Rob.
what are we doing this week?
Yeah, this week I'm back on. No, not back. I was doing it last week. I'm doing more Skystead stuff. I'm doing the bear this week. So I think that's the last animal that we need to do. And today I'm going to be nailing down some designs, and then hopefully by the end of the week we'll have a nice little animated boy walking around.
Yeah, very good. So for me, a bit of store page stuff. So I'm getting store page ready for some of the upcoming DLC for Voodoo, possibly some for Hexseed as well. But most of my week's going to be filled up with actually just making Voodoo levels for the Landscapes DLC. Got 3 done already. Yeah, just get as many of them done as I can.
Yeah, and as for me, I'll be working on Skystead. There's a couple of small fixes that I want to do, but I want to get placement done, so you pick up and drop items in a nice way, instead of it just being glitchy like it is at the moment.
Okay, so last week was quite a busy week in terms of this model. As you probably noticed last Friday, it's now Tuesday morning. It took quite a while to get this down. There was a lot of problems with the UV map, but I spent a little bit more time on the weekend to try get it done, because I didn't want to be working on it this week. I want to do other things. And I've finally finished it. And it looks quite nice. There's a few things that I could point out that I don't like, but that's just me. I've been looking at it way too long now. But overall, I quite like it. Obviously, all the panels are all the panels are blank, so that Rob can put any sort of UI that he wants on it. And there's also going to be some UI charms here as well, which I'll model later and add in. But as of now, I quite like it. The green matches the boat, and I thought that would be a nice little comparison between the two. But right now, I'm actually doing some really cool stuff. I'm actually working on the bear cub for the next character of Athena, and right now I'm kind of doing some research, referencing and sketching to try get down some character forms so I can show the guys, and they can essentially help me narrow down what they want to see, what they want to have in the game. And it's getting there. I'm looking at quite different references. I'm looking at art, and I'm also looking at real life references. And what I've found about bear cubs is that their heads are quite big and they haven't really grown into their ears yet. So I'm trying to get that on my sketchbook right now. Obviously you can see these are really rough sketches, and of course we have a cursed image right here. But what I like about this cursed one, although it doesn't look great, I quite like the two-toned colours for the fur and the ear. So I think I'm going to carry that forward. As you can see here, I've been experimenting with large ears as bear cubs have, but I think this is too big. Although I do quite like this design down here on this head shape, but the ears are too small. So right now I'm kind of using this really thick pencil just to try get some forms down. I could probably do a quick one now. What should we do? I'll probably try to do a bit more of a smoother head. As you can see for the other ones, I've kind of been doing sort of rough heads. I think there might be a bit too what's the word I'm looking for? A bit too dominant. I kind of want the head to look still quite cute, but I want the forms to be quite different from the rest of the animals. And typically as well, I quite like adding in this sort of different coloured snout. I've been experimenting a lot with that, and so far I really like it. I think it'll add for a nice pattern onto the character, similar to how the other ones have. Yeah, this is essentially what I'm working on this morning. I'm essentially just trying to narrow down some forms so when the guys come in, they can show me what they like, and then I can work from that.
Quick start of the day with some of the Landscapes DLC prep. So I quickly finished up the Grand Canyon image you can see here. Obviously still needs a bit of QA testing to make sure it's alright, but that's pushed to the build and ready to go. As well as that, I have been going ahead with the store page assets as well. And these have all been localized as well, so it takes a bit longer to create these ones than some of the other ones just because of the localization. But they've been sent off as well. The store page has been set up and sent off to Steam. We do need screenshots, but I've sent off for the time being to get approved, and then we're going to update the screenshots and everything else before we make the page live.
Yeah, so you might have seen this in the background of recordings when we've been sat on the sofa and stuff like that. But basically, it is the Rainbow Six Siege trophy. So we like our Rainbow Six Siege watching the esports. Long story short, Icy won. We all picked teams. Icy won. We thought Lee was going to win, but Icy won again. So we're going to have to post this to him. And he's got an extra day off holiday as well for picking the right team. But yeah, the idea is that he's already got the trophy there. So he's going to basically take all the parts of Lego from this and then add it to the trophy and make a monstrosity. Yeah, that's the plan. Cool. So this is our Project Athena that we've been working on for pretty much a year now. So Jack's been doing some really nice art on the board. How can I not show that off? Look at that. Look how good all that is. What? But yeah, so we've got a few concerns with it at the moment. So we know that if we release the game it's unlikely to do well, like at all. It's really just we're not going to get any publicity, and it'll be a huge failure. It's just the way that Steam works. There's just so much competition in the games industry right now. So we needed to come up with a plan for Skystead to basically get the word out there, and we think the plan is going to be to do a crowdfunding campaign for Skystead. So the idea being that we have a Kickstarter or we use another platform, and we basically set a goal that we know that we're going to do, we know that we can achieve, and we were likely going to make the game anyway, but we just use any money raised for basically publicity. It's something for us to contact like gaming news websites like PC Gamer and stuff like that. Basically just say, look, people like our stuff. Please write a review and get publicity that way. And it also means that we'll be able to afford things like better music and stuff like that. It is sort of our Hail Mary project. And the other part of the plan is we're actually going to try and do it all in October. So October is a really good month for us. So the idea is that when you do a crowdfunding campaign, offer you like we'll be offering like rewards and stuff like that, but it generally runs for about 30 days. So we were thinking if we do maybe, I think it was like the 3rd to the 1st. So if we run the campaign for basically the month of October, it'll work really well for us because there is a Steam Next Fest running from the 9th to the 16th. It's like Monday to Monday. So we'll be doing our usual like get a demo ready. We'll hopefully have a demo ready for the start of the month actually. And we'll be doing our usual PR that we've done for the past couple of games like Who Shoved My Shapes and Wooloop. They seem to work really well. We've got loads of traction with those, so we'll be doing Steam Next Fest this month. We've also got several DLCs coming out this month. So we've got a Colouring Pixels DLC on the 14th. That'll probably be a Halloween DLC. We've got Hexseed on the 21st, and we've got Wooloop on the 28th. On top of that, we've got I think it's usually the community book comes out in October, so that's when the Colouring Pixels community does but it's basically just a book of like fans of pixel art, fans of our game, and we'll be releasing that. Usually it's about here on the 28th. Yes, we've got Colouring Pixels Community 5 coming around then. Dates on that haven't been confirmed yet. But yeah, potentially along with all of this, so the idea is that we're going to have lots of links to the campaign, to the demo as well in all of our games. So we're going to have lots of people playing our games during this month anyway, a lot more than usual. So hopefully that'll be a big help to us. We're also thinking about, this is all up in the air, completely all up in the air, going to MCM Comic Con in London on, I think the dates are here, so 27th to the 29th. So we'll actually be attending the event, getting a stall, hopefully having the game actually playable then. Actually there, doing a lot of giveaways and stuff like that. So fingers crossed we'll be able to do that. So it's one of those things where we can't really put a bunch of money into the campaign, into the crowdfunding campaign, but we can spend a lot of money marketing it. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to try and do here. If we give away a lot of freebies and stuff like this at a convention, at a big convention like MCM, then fingers crossed we'll be okay. Yeah, yeah, it should be fun. There's also a couple of other things. So like I've been working on a personal project, and we did say that if we did release the personal project, the 29th will be really, really good date for it. It's a little text thing. It might have been in devlog a few months ago. But there's no pressure on releasing that. But if it does, the 29th will be really good because it's a Friday. We like releasing on Fridays. And then if it does well, we'll release it completely for free. So hopefully it will be in Steam's upcoming and trending for like this week, which will be the start of the campaign, which will be like maximum impact for us. So there is that as well. But we're not sure if that'll conflict or not. But yeah, so yeah, that's the plan.
Okay, so all the design work for the bear character is completely done now, and right from the get-go we really liked this right design here, and we kind of carried it forward for the rest of it. So, as you can see here, it kind of took a few iterations, but eventually we did just stick with this one, but we wanted to round off the ears. And we did experiment a little bit with giving him a sort of hat/helmet made of an acorn, but then we thought it took away from the bit of the cuteness, so we kind of stuck with the basic design, but we wanted to add a bit more fantasy. So on this last page here, you can see I experimented with a little bit of tusks, a bit of a beard almost, and some like sort of fur mohawk on his back, and we kind of liked all of it, so we actually kept all of it. And the final design actually just finished, and now it is in Blender, as you can see here. I'll quickly move it. This is what we're stuck with, although I do like the other back arch better, where it essentially goes down a bit, so I'll probably incorporate that into the 3D model a bit once I get there. But the head's coming along quite nicely. I'm almost done with the head. There's a few more tweaks that I want to make. I think it looks a bit too indented here, as on the reference it's a bit smoother, so I'm going to make a few more tweaks to that, and then hopefully I'll start the body. Okay, so it's the Wednesday morning now, and the bear's coming along really nicely. There's a lot of things that I want to add, but I'm trying to keep it quite simple for now, just try to get the base forms in. And right now, I'm trying to decide on what to do with the paws. A lot of feedback for the bear designs that I did in my sketchbook was that I want the paws to be quite big and quite dominant. Not scary, just quite cute looking. When you see like a German Shepherd that has quite big paws, a similar energy to that. Spike sort of has individual claws, and I was going to implement that into the bear to try and essentially just make the paws a bit bigger, but I don't want to make the bear look too scary. Spike overall has quite a cute aesthetic, but I feel like the bear would be quite easier to make it look quite scary. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try find some other ways to do it, as well as try find some ways to make the tomahawk on his back. As you can see, the head and body are separated. That's because I wanted essentially some more control over the head. So when he's when he's being animated, essentially I can move the head without having to deform the body too much. I want quite a large range of movement in his head, and I don't want it to affect any meshes in the neck. So that's how to keep them separate. So I need to find a way to make the tomahawk essentially join between the head and body.
Spent most of the day doing tack stuff with Rob, so I'll show most of that off. But yeah, sort of finished up the rest of the day with a bit of QA testing for Loop here. So you can see here when this loads in, I'm in a bit of trouble. So I played through 5 of the levels here. You can see the ones that have been completed here on the main menu. For the most part, they're quite good. There's some minor issues that I've had to push back to I see here, but all the issues have been really quite small, so there should be quick fixes to get them in. But more importantly, on the back of that, I've managed to get updated screenshots because the store page has been approved overnight by Valve. So I've gone ahead and updated the screenshots with some more accurate ones of the landscape, some in progress, some completed. And yeah, that's now live as well. Won't be announcing it until next week, but the store page is live, so people can, if they stumble across it, they can wishlist it.
The decimating for the bear is done. It took quite a long time, but we got him to the point where we're quite happy. We always tried to aim for 2,000 polys, and he's just about 2,100, which Rob said was fine. So now I've moved on to doing the UV maps, and as you can see, I've already started adding in all the seams, and it's looking pretty good. The UV maps are looking pretty clean so far. I'm not really seeing any stretching, but I'll have to add in the UV grid to be sure, which I'm going to do now. But I said everything's been separated, so here's the body, here's the head, and here's these fur on the back. Looking pretty good. I've done the nose and teeth as well, so I haven't got those selected. But right now, I need to find out how big he's going to be, and as you can see, I have imported our little tortoise boy in, which is the correct size. So I'm just going to scale him down and make sure he's right. Okay, so a quick change of plan. Whilst I was trying to join the mesh, like so, I noticed that there was some weird shading going on in both the body and the head, which can be quite worrying when it comes to texturing. It can definitely mess up the normals that makes up the mesh. And I've checked quite a few things for inverted faces and any broken geometry, and I've definitely found some things that are wrong. So what I found out is that the head actually has some hidden edges around the head that's causing the shading on the head to get messed up, like that. So essentially, whilst I know he's got half his head, that's only because when I fix this side I'm going to mirror it. it's primarily in the ear, and that's because whilst I was doing some retopologizing the mesh, essentially just tidying up the vertices. You can see they're all messed up now because I've been trying to find out where this edge is. If I pull this edge out, I think it's this one. There we go. There's hidden geometry within this edge, and that's because typically when you extrude things, especially, well, whilst I was doing for this ear, if it can accidentally sometimes double extrude an edge, which is what's happened here, and it's essentially just hidden an edge away inside another one, and that's primarily what's causing the shading on the ear to go wrong, and I'm hoping that's going to fix the entire head. So I'm going to try fix this up. It's going to take a little longer than I wanted it to, as I wanted to start texturing, but this needs to be done, otherwise it's going to mess up the mesh in the long run.
So I spent the morning getting the rest of the stained glass book, like DLC prep done, so the achievements have been created and uploaded, and they're all working as well. And I've gone ahead and made the announcements. I notice here on this Steam announcement there isn't a GIF at the moment. The GIF here is quite a good one. Spent a bit of time on this one. Quite happy with it, but it won't upload to Steam. So I don't know if it's just an issue with Steam at the moment or what. So we'll try again later on. But I've tried here. If we try and upload the GIF, just gets stuck here in this uploading. Normally just take a little moment, then it would just appear up here and you can put it in. But yeah, as you can see, it looks like it's stuck. So we'll try that again later on. But in the meantime, I'm going to carry on with some of the QA testing because I'm nearly done with the QA testing at Icy's levels, and then I'll continue making more of my own afterwards.
Yeah, okay, so I've actually managed to get some work done on Athena today. The past couple of days I've mainly just been working on boring tax stuff and things I can't really show you. Some stuff to do with the pension as well. But yeah, I'm working on making sure that when you drop items, it is a lot nicer. So before it would just sort of like leave the item in place and leave it floating quite high in the air, which is not what we want. We want to drop on the floor. So I've added this little bouncing animation, which works quite well. We also need it to land in a safe spot as well. So if you try and drop it off the side of the world, for example, we can't have that. So right now it checks to see if it's a playable area, and it seems to be working all right. It seems to bounce back. Yeah, there you go. So it's only comes back to the bridge, and yeah, it should avoid objects as well. So if, for example, if I throw it directly off the world here, it will try and bounce back into the world, but it will encounter the player, and the player tells it to nudge on a bit further, so it jumps to the side, which isn't great. It doesn't look great, but it's functional and it's reliable, which is one thing we need to prioritize. And yeah, so for example, this rock here is a rock you can interact with. You can hit it with a shovel. So in theory, this rock should make the thing move as well. It didn't there. It was just because it was on the edge. Yeah, so generally, yeah, it does. It still needs a bit of work, but we're getting there.
Okay, so I managed to make all those fixes this morning in regards to the topology. It looks a lot cleaner now, and you can see the ears look a lot smoother, so that should animate a lot nicer. This afternoon, I've essentially just been texturing, and you can see here, boom, he's done. He's completely finished. Took a little while longer than anticipated. There was quite a few things that we wanted to add in. I can show you here, there was an old version. So here's the original version, and wanted some more stuff on him just to fill in a bit of the empty space, and this is him now. So looks a lot better, and overall quite happy with it. I think it has a bit of a almost Nordic feel to it, so it's quite cool. Vastly different from the rest of them. But yeah, all the creatures have been modelled and textured now, so it's quite cool. But now I just need to get on to rigging them.
Okay, so a bit more Athena work. I've been doing some stuff on the main menu, trying to get that cutscene, that intro cutscene, working really well. But I've also managed to work on these logs. So you see, for like the trees and the plants and stuff that you can interact with, that was unexpected. It sort of like occupies a single tile or like a radius of tiles. And for the log that didn't quite work because it's like long and thin, but I managed to get it working with the rotation as well. So now it occupies like a rectangle of space, as it were, instead of a circle. And yeah, I think there's another log down here as well. Yeah, so that's working. Thankfully, ChatGPT was able to help me out with that. Yeah.
Guys,
Lee.
it's the weekend.
Yeah, it is.
It's been a shorter week because it's been Bank Holiday Monday, wasn't it, this week?
It has been a short week this week, yeah. But yeah, it's been quite a fun week, but keep an eye out next week for the next Wooloop DLC, which is Landscapes. Icy and Lee have been a tag team on that one, and everything in it is looking great. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, good stuff. And the 25th, I believe, Clone Pixels Collection 3 is coming out on Switch. So please pre-order that. You should be able to pre-order it now. The store page is all live and stuff. And it'll download at some point before the release date, I guess. Not actually sure when that is, but it does do it, apparently. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for all of the Patreons, everyone in Discord as well. You people are amazing as usual. We got a couple of new ones, didn't we?
Patrons, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you'll see him in the credits.